Hey, we're already talking Raiders, so let's just morph straight into the final now.
Yeah, I mean, we have our final. Steven Spielberg has already won. He had a
Yes.
75% chance of winning, even in the in the
So
in
now
the
we
final
gotta.
four.
Do you want to break it down before we decide on a winner?
I think that's probably the best.
Okay. Because right now I'm torn. I'm leaning one way, but I want to break down the scene a little bit,
I think that's
just
probably
so
best.
we, just so I don't forget any part of the scene.
Okay.
So Raiders, you got. He starts with the horse chase. He gets into the truck. He
Yes.
gets shot in the arm. Great moment. He.
He climbs over the truck, then gets into the door,
Oh
and
yeah.
he fights to get control, and he gets shot in that one.
Okay. And then he also this is the one
Actually,
flaw
that's a lie.
in.
He gets in, he takes control. Then the Nazis come out of the back of the truck, and he's shaking them
Oh
off and doing all
yes,
that. And during that
yes,
process, when they get close to him, that's when he gets shot in the
yeah.
arm.
The one guy crawls around the side. The one flaw in Raiders does take place in this scene, which is the one car that drives off that cliff that comes out of nowhere. Like it just like out of nowhere. There's just a random ass cliff.
I'm fine with it.
I mean, no, I mean I'm fine with it too. I think it's actually hilarious, but it's so clearly not the same location at all. I find it hilarious,
Nope,
but
same deal. Totally buy it. No problems.
um,
Movie's perfect. Shut up.
okay. And then when he gets shot, then the blonde ass Nazi guy,
He
he
has to
throws him
fight
out.
him, and he's fucking punching him in the arm and shit.
Yeah,
He
yep,
gets thrown out the windshield. He's got to hold on to the fucking
yep.
the Mercedes headpiece.
Starts
Falls
bending,
out.
starts bending. Yep,
Falls out, gets dragged underneath it, and he's using the fucking hot pipes
yep.
that all the systems that are underneath the car. He's using that, then he uses his whip to get back in.
I mean, that's the moment
It's
of
iconic. It's so
the,
iconic.
yeah, it's the moment of the chase. Is him being dragged behind it.
Oh, and he's getting dragged behind it. He gets back. He gets in. You're getting this John Williams score
Also,
that
the
is
fact that
perfect.
Vic Armstrong, the stuntman, literally just has like some pads on, and
And
he's just being dragged behind a fucking truck.
and maybe some cardboard underneath him. Maybe.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's fucked.
I mean, hey, kudos.
Stuntmen were built different back then. That's all I'm
They
saying.
definitely were. Yeah,
Because the safety regulations are not what they used to be, or
yeah.
vice versa. They are much better than what they used to be.
And then he gets back in the truck, throws the Nazi out the truck.
Hmm. He goes over. He tries to do the same thing Indy does, but then gets run over when he falls off.
Yep.
Then he catches up to the lead cars and he's chasing them off the fucking thing. They take all the aqueduct and plumbing that the locals are building, and he
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
all that shit out.
That's a dick move. Dick move there, Indy.
To be fair, he's trying not to. He's literally trying to jank off and then push
Yeah.
him back in. He's doing all this stuff that is
Um.
just incredible.
Yeah, and then he runs Belloc off the road,
Yep.
and then and then his little local friends help him hide from the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Jurassic Park.
Whew.
Jurassic Park, maybe one of the most iconic moments of suspense with the glass,
You know it, yeah. Where it's the glass of water, and it's just the ripples,
the ripples,
and you hear
which
the
apparently,
steps.
yeah, I read earlier that it was like they were trying for months to try to like find what would create that ripple, and apparently it's like a guitar string. If you strum it just right or something with an
Huh.
amp, it would creates it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So you got that iconic moment, and then you got the goat falling on the truck. Another like great hint. where it's classic Spielberg with Jaws, like, hey, don't show the monster until you got to.
Uh-huh. That's
And then,
textbook. That's 101.
yeah. And then you get the little bit of a reveal of the T-Rex's head.
Mm-hmm. It's just the
'Cause-
eye. And
Yeah.
then you have the kids freaking out. You get the shitty lawyer,
Yep.
the blood-sucking lawyer, as Hammond calls him.
He says, fuck it, I'm out of here.
He bails. He leaves 2 kids in a fucking Jeep by themselves. A Jeep that doesn't even work properly, mind you.
Yep.
It's a tracked vehicle. And he runs and sits on the toilet and cowers in fear. Meanwhile, it changes to a comedy moment where he's like, where's he going? You gotta go, you gotta go.
Yep. That's true. That's a great comedy moment. Is there any comedy in the Raiders?
Just mostly Indy laughing and just like when he gets half the guys
Oh yeah.
and he's just
true.
laughing. He's like, like he's
Knocking Nazis off the truck is funny.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Yeah.
Dude, if you got to punch a Nazi, do you know how good that would feel? Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on.
The only thing that would rival it is if Indy just was able to punch Hitler straight in the face when he signs the Grail Diary.
Yeah.
That would have been ace. Okay, then the T-Rex finally comes out.
Yep.
Also, you get those iconic Lucas sounds,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the tension rods or whatever they're called.
Uh-huh.
You get those classic Star Wars sounds.
Oh, they're great.
They are. That's one thing I will give Lucas.
His sound. Ben Burt, dude. Ben Burt.
Yeah, it's so good. Also, Ben Burt, the voice of Wall-E.
Hey.
Okay, T-Rex comes out, and that's a CG shot because it's the full body.
Yep.
Also, it's raining in that scene because it's easier for the visual effects artists for it to be a shiny surface.
Uh-huh.
So, same principle as like a shiny ball is easier for them to animate than a
dull one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's raining in that scene. But then it also has completely fucked them up because the animatronic T-Rex just got completely waterlogged and just started like twitching like crazy because it just stopped working eventually.
Yes. But you have it that the sister pulls out the flashlight because she's trying to get help.
Yep.
Not realizing that that's what's going to happen with the T-Rex. And you're having these great switch-off moments where Sam Neill's character is like, as long as we don't move, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And it's telling you the tension, where he's telling you their vision's based on movement.
Yeah. And
Stay still and we'll be fine.
He is even saying, like, telling them to stop or, like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So then you get, I think, the best, or I guess what you would call, like, the horror moment of that scene, which is when it starts going into the kid's truck.
Yeah.
And then it has the moment that is, I guess it was an accident, where the T-Rex knocks the window on top of them.
Yeah, and they're holding it up by themselves.
Apparently the window wasn't supposed to fall down. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's the internet lore.
If it did, rad, even better. Happy accidents make for cool shit.
Happy accident, that...
I want to believe it because of how many people that are stunt coordinators, directors of photography, all these things that have that old school bone in them that bitch about CGI, because they're like, when you take that away from us, you take away the spontaneity of the cool shit that can happen that enriches the experience even more than what it is.
I would also believe it because I think they would underestimate how heavy that fucking T-Rex animatronic is.
I wouldn't be shocked.
You know, that coming down on top of that, like, plexiglass, I'm sure that thing was not strong. So
they're holding it up. They get out. It starts spinning. T-Rex starts tipping it over.
it starts sinking into the mud.
Yeah,
Love that.
the T-Rex steps into the mud. Again, the stakes just keep going higher and higher and higher. They're fighting a fucking T-Rex that's trying to eat them. Then they're flipped upside down, and they're getting crushed by said T-Rex that is also actively trying to eat them. Then they're sinking into the mud so they can suffocate to death as they're trying to be avoiding a T-Rex that's trying to eat them.
That's my favorite moment of that scene.
And that's
the mud
when,
part.
And when those two are at their most dire, that's when you have Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill come out, and they're like, we got to do something. They try to get distractions with flares. Jeff Goldblum's doing like, get the kids, get the kids. Like, what are you doing? He's like, get the kids. And you get the iconic running away with the flare, and the T-Rex is coming after them. That's when the T-Rex goes to the bathroom and just chomps the entire bathroom away and fucking eats that guy straight up. And you're like, good, fuck you.
Another great comedy moment.
Yeah. Just fuck you, lawyer, for abandoning these children. Awesome. And then it goes and knocks Jeff Goldblum out in that process with like almost a tail whip almost, but it's really like a head whip. And he's stuck in the bathroom wreckage. Then he goes back, and Tim's still stuck underneath the fucking truck. And then you've got Sam Neill and the sister, and she's about to scream. He's like covering her mouth. The T-Rex is getting all up in their face. You can see the breath of the T-Rex on a bunch of stuff, which is just incredible. He managed to get Tim out, but they're going out then. Tim's still stuck, and he's trying to get Tim, but he's got her on his back as he's hanging from the fucking cables, and then she starts choking him out because she's afraid, and he's trying to swing her over, and the kid's still stuck in the fucking truck as it's getting pushed off the fucking ledge, and then the whole thing, they get to safety just barely when the fucking Jeep comes and falls on them, and that's how the kid is saved. He falls into the right tree, and that's how the T-Rex win, and then the T-Rex just fucking roars, because he's awesome.
Okay. Which one you leaning towards?
Oh, God.
Because the Indy Chase has so many different parts to it that are so much fun.
Yes.
Like, every single part is fun to watch. Like, him getting into it, him going on, like, literally the opening of the chase where it's like, where he says he's making this up as he goes along.
Oh, it's one of the best lines in cinema history.
Yeah, like, it's great.
I gotta get on that truck. How? I don't know. I'm making this up as I go.
Yeah. And then he goes down the hill with the horse. That's fun. Him getting shot, kind of fun.
Again, stakes. The thing is to me, this comes also down to.
I should say, him getting shot leads to another great moment later on with Marion.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
The big thing for me is, well, it's one of the best love scenes ever. Of just and character love, not necessarily like. But it's just so good at the character interaction.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying like, oh, over the top lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Or they're making love or anything. It's just that scene so encapsulates the love for two people have for each other.
Quick tangent yet. Have you watched an older movie yet where they say, "Are you making love at me?" Because some older movies do that.
No, but I think I've heard that.
Okay. There's some older movies where you'll hear that in it. Because the first time I heard that in an older movie, I was like, what is that? But apparently that was just like
what they
wooing,
said.
Flirting. Yeah. And I was like, that's a crazy way that we twisted that.
Yeah. So getting back, but that's a great tangent. Thank you for sharing that. To me, this comes down to, what do you value more? Do you value the genre bending, or do you value the character? Because I don't think, as great as Jurassic Park is, and there's still great character moments, don't get me wrong, they do not give you the same feeling that you get while watching Raiders, where you go, I understand this character's motivation. I understand that he will stop at nothing to do it, but he's not Superman. He has to think his way through things. He has to get by the skin of his teeth. You understand him and you believe in him more than anything else.
Also, on a pure action level, there is just a lot more action.
There's a lot more action in the trucks. A lot more traditional action.
Yeah.
Where Jurassic Park, it's the genre bending. How many different moments can you put us into? Again, drama, horror, comedy, thriller, suspense. All of these are put to the test. And there's an authenticity to the human experience in that where, yeah, of course, no human beings ever come up against a live T-Rex unless they're believers in a really practical version of the Bible, and that's fucking crazy. But
yeah.
You have the human experience element.
I remember that guy.
Yep. But you have the human experience element of it, in which the reason we make jokes at dark times is so we can feel better. It's not because we're trying to make light of someone's emotions. We're trying to get through the emotions. No different than the dark comedy moment we talked about in Saving Private Ryan. Gets hit in the helmet. Oh, shit. Bam. You know, it's like oh, I lucked out. And then bad things happen, right? So it's what you value more in the scene. And that's the part that sucks, is there's not a clear cut. It's not like we got 2 chase scenes where we can just go, well, this chase scene's better because of this. We didn't get 2 fight scenes where it's, well, this fight scene has better choreography and better lighting and all these kinds of things. They're lit perfectly. They're shot perfectly. They're mapped perfectly. You understand where you are every time.
Yeah, I mean, both scenes, you have the classic, like, geography of a Spielberg scene where clarity of action is literally his thing.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, so clear, where everything is. There's no confusion ever in a Spielberg action scene.
Yeah.
It's not a Michael Bay, like, fucking confusion in the Transformers movies where it's just, like, machine fuck fest where you're just like, oh my god, what is happening?
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is when we were gushing about Spielberg and we kind of saved it, is this is what makes him the best of all time at this. It's not the stuff it's not what happens, it's how it happens and how much you clearly understand it as a viewer. It's not like he makes the impossible possible, but he also does that through the clarity in which he does. And his team, obviously. It's not just Steven Spielberg by himself.
Yeah,
but
obviously.
He has a team of people that understand how this works. How do we make this function and work? And why is it important? Why does it matter? And how can I make an audience member sitting here understand it? It's something that, like, an earlier Tarantino didn't quite get, and a later Tarantino is a master of now. Where you perfectly understand where you are, what's happening, and why it's happening. Where earlier Tarantino, there was a bit more of the cacophony of what the fuck? And that was kind of how we got through sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready to vote. I have my number out of 10.
I think I'm ready. I think I can do this.
Okay. I'm 7-3 Raiders.
I'm 6-4 Raiders.
Okay. Yeah, at the end of the day, I did think if this is a true action scene tournament, you kind of have to give it to Raiders.
In the more traditional sense, yes. I understand. Yeah. I understand that argument.
But, I mean, there's a lot of great action in the Jurassic Park scene as well.
No, yeah. I mean, Jurassic Park started as I thought that was a middle-of-the-road seed. And Jurassic Park, that scene truly gave us the excitement of this tournament, where both of us lit up like, oh, fuck. Like, I remember saying, maybe this should have been a number 1 seed in the first matchup. You're like, I don't know, but maybe. And then by the second round, you're like, you're not wrong, maybe. Like, it gave us that feel, you know?
Raiders just does have, like, every part of a good action scene. Because it has a chase. It has hand-to-hand fighting.
Yeah.
Like, It has gunplay.
It has gunplay. It has moving vehicles. It has character moments throughout. It's got a little bit of that humor. Not too much, so it doesn't take you out, but enough to you go,
Yeah.
okay. And
Got stakes.
and the most important part out of anything, it has a character you want to root for. Not that Jurassic Park doesn't, but Indy being by himself, and literally it's the world, every vehicle, and every character in the scene against him. It's the reverse, where Jurassic Park is everything's against the T-Rex. It's just the T-Rex is so fucking good that
Also,
you can't take it.
Harrison Ford versus Sam Neill. There's a clear winner there.
Who wears
Let's be honest.
Who wears the hat better? I mean, Harrison Ford is the best.
I mean, he's in the prime of his life back then. Maybe Temple of Doom. Maybe he looks a little better.
I think he looks best in Temple of Doom, probably.
Yeah.
He looks
when he
good
comes in with that white tux. Oh yeah.
Well, beyond that, I mean, if we're just talking physically, when he's got the cutoff shirt in Temple of Doom, motherfucker looks good.
Yeah.
Where you just gotta go.
In his prime.
You just gotta go. God damn, Harrison. Okay.
Yeah.
We put some work in today. Okay. Yeah, it's
okay.
It's Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It was a number 1 seed for a reason.
The funniest part is, if you would have made me pick it beforehand, I would have picked this scene. It became a lot harder when this came through. I think it might have had... If Raiders was going to lose for me, I think the path would have included Mad Max because they have a similar chase vehicle danger vibe.
Sure.
And then if it would have went up against one of the big epics at the same time, and you had to continually force yourself to fight against it in a critique sense, that's what I would have been,
I think the closest matchup to me would have been Fellowship of the Ring. Would have been close.
Sure. Could see that.
I mean, Casino Royale was pretty close.
Casino Royale was close.
So...
I also think, it would have been interesting to put Ghost Protocol up against it as well. Because they're also, it's a spike moment versus a long play of perfection versus a big holy fuck versus, the big thing. But it's how it goes, man.
Yeah.
It's how it goes.
Actually, I'm betting our number 1 seeds are not going to end up as, the top 4. So...
Raiders. Well, Raiders will.
No, I'm saying, but if in our stacked,
Oh yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. I think 2 of them will make it for me. I'm not sure about the other ones. So that is the final of this tournament. This has been a fun month of content for us. This has been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of fun getting everyone to watch this and give the likes and let us know what you're thinking. It's been fun getting to see that build as well. I hope this has been a fulfilling finale for everybody. And now we gotta go stack rank them and go back to our normal existence of projects. Somehow, some way, we gotta find it.